Someone wrote, I'm a manager at a really small firm. I finally mastered how to give a lot, but give nothing at the same time. I go to group outings. I have lunch with coworkers. We text and have phone calls, but I act more like a therapist. Okay. Somebody else said they view Black women as emotional therapists. All right. This one, I didn't like this. Okay. And, you may disagree with me, but here's my take. This is where the boundaries we need to have, like, you need to put some in place. You think that being a therapist is giving but not giving. It's not your place. It's not for you to do. Okay? And here I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you a little story about this white girl I used to be friends with. We were cool. We were cool when I graduated from college and I got my first job, and we remained friends for about 10 years before the friendship was over. Maybe a little more, because we, had some falling outs and we got back together, whatever. This girl was a walking basket case when it came to emotions. And let's call her Beth, by the way. We'll call her Beth. I want to call her a crybaby, but now, with some wisdom, behind me and all of that, I know that this one used these tears constantly as manipulation tactics and just to gain control over situations. Now, initially, Beth seemed like a pretty cool chick, She aligned herself with Black people. She inserted herself into Black culture. She only dated Black men. Okay. She knew all the Black songs. She knew all the old, R&B. She was pretty dialed in. And in today's standards, you would consider her a white, left-leaning, hardcore liberal who was an ally. All right. But Beth was an emotional drain. She was an energy suck. Okay. From the time I knew her at work to us not being at work, to us being in LA at the same time, because this happened in Dallas, and then she moved to LA and I moved to LA. This woman would drain the absolute fuck out of you. All right. She was always crying about a man, crying about everything. She used it as control. She just would cry, cry, cry. We'll talk about the control thing later. But for right now, I'm talking about boundaries. I'm talking about the way that people can, and particularly white women, because that has been the conversation. So I'm addressing it by telling you a story about a white woman, how they can push into your private space or your personal space, or push it too far and drain the fuck out of you and leave you depleted. She was the type of person that when you would hang out with her, you just didn't know what you were going to get. She was moody. She was very hot-tempered. She was cool, but she just wasn't always the best person to be around. It was a lot to hang around this girl. I remember we were driving around in Dallas, and her latest man was Black. And she said, well, his name was Jay. Jay feels more comfortable around white people than he does Black people. I was just like, well, if Jay feels like that, then that's his mama's fault. Well, she gets ramped up. Well, his mom was an educator. My response was, so was mine. Then she went on to say, they lived in an all-white neighborhood. My response was, so did I. The fuck? So she kept getting all upset and mad. And I said, listen, at the end of the day, I'm Black, you're white, you just don't know what you're talking about on this one, you're wrong. So she flipped out, she's screaming and crying. I'm driving the car, we're headed somewhere, I do not remember. And she's like, I want to go home, it's time to go home. Fine, we go home. We did not make it to our destination, and that was it. That was just one episode, but it was constant with this woman. Constant crying, tears, snot all the time over some man. All right. And then, when she didn't need me later, like when we got to California, I remember she had we had the in on some party because she worked for Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy on the Hennessy brand. And she would have these parties or, put these parties on with people, urban parties, whatever. Always cool, always a good time. And I remember she had the inn at some mansion in Malibu, invited me to go, pulled back the invitation because all of a sudden, oh, I don't have a ticket, went. I decided to go to another party I was invited to, my girl's party up at her house up in the Hollywood Hills. Great vibe, great energy. Later that night, this girl was texting me off the chain. Beth was texting me off the chain while I was at another party because she was crying and upset about some dude, as usual, just insinuating herself into my good time, my good vibe Hollywood party out by the pool around somebody's fire pit. It was just so fly and good. But I had to leave. I didn't have to leave, but I had to leave because she was in a crisis after she had dissed me earlier that day to come meet her so she can cry to me some more about whatever some dude did to her, a black man. I think this dude, this time, maybe black. I think he was Latin. I don't know. But it was a constant energy suck, okay? And at that time, I say all this to say, we can lend ourselves so much in these situations where we start to believe the bullshit ourselves. Like, oh, they need me. Oh, let me help. I have some words of wisdom. Let me give them some advice. But absolutely not. This is a fucking drain. Historically, Black women have been treated like they don't have any feelings, like we are the backbones of strength. We are the epitome of strong. Hell, they used to cut us open with no anesthesia. You know that? They tested all of modern day gynecological tools on Black women. That's how they got what they have now, right? We have been tested to the core. So somehow psychologically, these thoughts still remain in these people's minds. They know that we are emotionally strong. They know that we are hard workers. They know what we're capable of. But just because you can do some shit doesn't mean that you should do it. It doesn't mean it's available for them. Same with the boundaries. So when the woman says, I give a lot, but I don't give anything at all, yes, you do. Here's the deal. When you have boundaries set up, you have to use those boundaries in order to propel and advance yourself. Those boundaries aren't just up just to be like, yeah, no, don't talk to me, don't come to me, I don't play. You need to be using whatever gifts God has given you, whatever gifts you have given yourself or gifted yourself or worked on for yourself for you. So if you have emotional strength or history with relationships or life skills that could be beneficial for somebody else, that's fine, but you don't have to spend and drain your time and energy and resources to help somebody else. I don't care if it's at work. I don't care if it's with a friend, okay? I have a friend right now. She loves to call me and just be like, hey, but every time that she's calling me when she doesn't have anything to do. Because you can hear just right at the time where she clicks off and she's kind of bored of the conversation. Let me call her just because. Most of the time she's not going to answer the phone. So I peep that. I peep it. I see it. I understand it. Doesn't make her a bad person, but I had to learn to stop answering the phone all the time. I'm not available all the time. What you need to be doing with your boundaries erected is working on your own shit, your way out of the job, your own hobbies, your own interests, your own family. There's only so much time you have in a day to spend thinking and making decisions. I can't remember the statistic, but it's a real thing. If I remember it, I'll put it up on the screen. You have so many decisions to make in a day, right? So when you decide to play counselor or therapist to people at work, that's taking away from shit you could be doing. All right. You use those boundaries to get yourself to the next level. That's what you should be using those boundaries for. The boundaries of when people call you and they want you to go out and do stuff. And you got to be doing something else over here because you're working on something. You use those boundaries to work on, say, your resume or getting the next better job, working on that business. Don't think that just because you're giving your time and talking about them, that it's not sucking off of you. That's exactly what it is. It's an energy suck. And you shouldn't let people suck off of you at all. That's an energy suck. And the sooner you realize that, the better, right? Boundaries are put in position for a reason, to help you. No matter if the pressure is coming from the outside or within you, to step outside of those boundaries and do something else instead of doing what you need to do to get where you need to go.